In this video, we will study the next part of the computer networks. The network terminology. Bandwidth is the amount of data that is communicated across a channel. So it is the data transfer rate, that is number of bytes that are transmitted in a particular time. So the more data is needed to be transmitted in the given unit of time, then bandwidth should be more. So the more the bandwidth, the more data will be transferred. And it can also be said that the speed of the communication system depends on the bandwidth. So it is measured in BPS or baud. Baud is identical to bits per second. A rate of 100 baud is equal to 100 bits per second. So the bandwidth is measured in three categories: narrow band, which is between 45 to 300 baud. Low speed devices, they use narrow band channels. Next are voice band, which have range up to 9600 baud. They are generally used in telephone voice communication. And broadband, the channels, their range is up to 1 million baud or more. They are used in high speed devices when the large amount of data is to be transferred at very high speed. So they are used in television, microwave and satellite communications. Then data transfer rates. Data transfer rate is amount of data that is transferred per second by a communication channel. It is measured in BPS. Baud means each communication channel has a certain capacity of carrying the signals. So that is called baud. And this is the unit of measurement of the signal carrying capacity of a channel. Bits per second is the speed at which the data is transferred, number of bits per second. If you write capital BPS, then it is bytes per second, kbps kilobits per second, capital kbps kilobytes per second, mbps megabits per second, capital mbps megabytes per second. Then GPS is gigabytes per second, tbps is terabytes per second. Now next is transmission media, that is those things that can be used to transmit data from one point to another. For any network to be effective, the devices that are connected to each other, the transmission media plays very important role, because it only decides how fast the network will work. So there are two types of transmission media, the guided and unguided. So guided transmission media means with the help of wires. So wired transmission media is known as guided transmission media, that is with the help of cables. It has a fixed path, that is from where to where the cables are joined, the transmission will be carried out between those 2 points only. The unguided media, that is the transmission with the help of electromagnetic signals. It is also known as wireless transmission, like radio waves or microwaves or satellite communication. Each transmission media has its own advantages and disadvantages in terms of bandwidth, speed or delay or cost per bit, then how easily it can be installed and what is the maintenance cost. So these things decide which transmission media a particular organization will go for. So first is twisted pair cable. So twisted pair cable is a guided media because it is a cable. So they are commonly used in telephone lines. So twisted pair means, as the name itself suggests, it consists of a pair of wires which are rolled over each other like a DNA structure. They are twisted in a helical shape like DNA molecules. So such twisted pair cables are called twisted pair cables. To reduce the interference between the nearby twisted pairs, twist rates are different for each pair. So this is the diagram of twisted pair cables. So many twisted pair cables can be put together in a covering. They are used in telephone system or Ethernet networks. Two types of twisted pair cables are there: UTP, that is unshielded twisted pair, and shielded twisted pair. The advantages include it is simple and easy to install and maintain. They are flexible and they have low weight. They are less expensive as compared to other cables, and it can be maintained manually also. The joining of the cable is comparatively easy as compared to other cables or other guided media. Next is coaxial cable. The coaxial cables have the copper wire with a better shielding than the twisted pair cables, so the data can be transferred or transmitted to a longer distance. They are widely used in the cable TV network. You must have seen at your home the cable TV wire. It is a coaxial cable. The disadvantage of twisted pair cable is the signals cannot travel to long distances without the use of repeaters. Then their error rates are higher than the other communication method. They are thin and hence break easily, and they are not suitable for broadband connections. The coaxial cable consists of three layers from the innermost to the outermost. The innermost have stiff copper wire, and it has then insulating surrounding the core, then closely woven braided mesh of conducting material around the insulator is there. Then all these things are enclosed within a protective plastic sheet encasing the wire. So this is the structure of the coaxial cable. You can see in the center it is a conductor, then there is a shield, and then mesh of wires, and then the outer jacket. So two types of coaxial cables are there: thick net and thin net cable. The advantages of coaxial cables include they have excellent noise immunity, so noise problem is lesser in case of coaxial cables. The signals can travel to long distances with the data rate of 1 to 2 Gbps per second, and it can be used for analog and digital signals. They are inexpensive as compared to the fiber optic cable, and they are easy to install and maintain, but they have certain disadvantages. In compared to the twisted pair cable, they are slightly expensive, and they are not compatible with twisted pair cable. That is, if you have a network that is having the twisted pair cable, it cannot be joined or connected with the coaxial cable, because these two types of cables are not compatible. Next type of guided media is optical fiber. Optical fibers, they are thin glass or plastic threads, you can say, which are used to transmit data with the help of light. So the transmission media is light waves, that is why they are called optical fiber. They have light emitting diode or LED or LEDs that emit light waves at the source, and this is read by the detector at the other end. So the light travels through these wires from one point to another point, and it is detected at the destination side. The optical fiber cable has a bundle of such threads or the fibers, and then they are all enclosed within protective covering. Each fiber is made up of 3 layers. The innermost layer is the core made of high quality silica, glass or plastic. Then there is a cladding made of high quality silica, glass or plastic with a lower refractive index than the core. Then protective outer covering called buffer. The core and the cladding are made up of similar material, but the difference is of refractive index. So this is optical fiber. It is this made up of glass like material so that the light can travel from the core, and all these are enclosed within coating. Optical fibers are rapidly replacing the copper wires in telephone lines and internet connection, because they can travel to long distances without the signals getting weak. There are two types of fiber optics, the single node and multi node. Single node cables have maximum segment length of 2 km per second, 2 kilometers, and bandwidth of 100 Mbps, while the multi node fiber optic cable have maximum length of 100 km and bandwidth of 2 gigabytes per second. So advantages of optical fibers include they are fast replacing the copper wire because of the following advantages. First is very high bandwidth, then they are immune to electromagnetic interference because they are lightweight. The signals, they are with the help of light signals are there, so they are not affected by electromagnetic interference, and they are suitable for industrial and noisy areas. The data can travel to long distance without weakening. So light rays, they do not get weak even if they travel to long distance. But there are certain disadvantages also. First of all, they are very expensive, so small organizations cannot afford the cost of optical fiber, and they are sophisticated because they consist of glass like material which are fragile, and they can break during the installation and maintenance, and they are unidirectional, so 2 frequencies are required for full duplex transmission. So light can travel only in one direction, so one wire can carry data only in one direction. So for duplex transmission, multiple wires are required. Next is infrared. So you must have used TV remote. It uses infrared signals to transmit data from the remote to the TV. So in almost all the handheld devices or remotes, infrared signals are used. They can propagate within the room and cannot penetrate the walls. So you can operate with the remote only if it is within the room where the equipment is being used. Next is radio wave transmission. It is also wireless or unguided media transmission. This transmission consists of the data that use radio frequencies. So radio frequencies, they are used to transmit data in the entertainment programs when you are watching the TV, it is actually due to the data that is being transmitted with the help of radio signals. It uses electromagnetic energy for transmitting the data from one point to another. The radio transmission consists of transmitters and receivers that use antenna to radiate and capture the radio signals. These radio frequency can also be used for direct voice communication within the allocated range, that is of 10 miles. So this is how the towers are set up for the radio wave transmission. The radio waves are preferred when we need reasonably high speed connectivity, where the wire connectivity is not feasible, that is laying down of wire is not, it cannot be done due to the geographical terrain like hilly areas. Wires cannot be laid down, digging trenches is difficult task. So in those areas, or the areas where sea is there or river is there, where laying down of wire is not that easy, in those areas radio wave transmissions are preferred. Advantages include inexpensive mode of information exchange as compared to the satellite communication. No land acquisition rights are required, and installation and maintenance is cheaper. But the disadvantages are they are susceptible to weather conditions, that is in the moist weather or rainy season the radio signals, they are not that clear. You must have experienced this when during the rainy season the the TV transmission, it is not also carried out properly, so they are susceptible to the atmospheric conditions. Then they have propagation effect, the interference can be jammed, that is the signals, they can be jammed and they are not allowed to travel. And they have lack of security because the signals are free in air, so anyone who can tune into that frequency can intercept those signals. Microwave transmission, it is used in the signals to transmit data without using cables. Again, it is unguided media of transmission. They are used for long distance communication and consist of a transmitter to transmit the signal, a receiver to receive the signal, and the atmosphere in which the data will be transmitted. So this is microwave transmission. The problem with microwave transmission is the line of sight transmission. So in case of the hilly areas, the signals they go like this, and the signals they don't reach to the destination point. So microwave repeater link is designed to transfer signals from one terminal station to another. You must have seen many towers, they have these transponders who are facing towards each other. One transponder send the data to a center, and then it transmits the data, retransmit the data to the next terminal. This is how the long distance transmission is carried out. Advantages of microwave include they are inexpensive mode of transmission as compared to radio wave and satellite transmission, and no land acquisition rights required because no digging of trenches are required. Installation and maintenance is comparatively cheap. Disadvantages insecure because again the signals are free in air, so anyone having the device can intercept the signals, and they are prone to weather changes like rain or thunderstorm like that of the radio waves. They are also prone to or susceptible to the weather conditions. They are unidirectional and provides limited bandwidth. Speed is less as compared to the radio wave and satellite transmission. Why microwaves are better than the radio wave for long distance? Microwave have higher frequency. The earth ionosphere cover up to long distance as compared to radio wave frequencies. Then due to the long wavelength also, the radio waves they are deflected by the earth atmosphere. Microwaves have comparatively shorter wavelength and they can pass through the earth atmosphere. So microwave can be used for long distance transmission. Satellite communication is a special case of microwave relay system where the earth station consists of satellite dish. You must have seen the dish antennas, the umbrella shaped dish antennas. They are used in satellite communication. So they are used to cover large geographical area with comparatively higher speed of connectivity. So this is how the satellite communication is done. So these are antennas. The satellite, they get the signal from one antenna and transmit to the next antenna. So the signals are transferred from point 1 to the next point. Advantages include no land acquisition rights are required for transmitting. They are capable of covering very large geographical areas, and they provide high speed data transmission facility. The laying and maintenance of intercontinental cable is difficult. Intercontinental means they can involve the sea and all. So there the satellite communication is preferred. But certain disadvantages of satellite transmission are also there. The maintenance and installation cost is very high. So they are expensive in these two things, and they are again prone to the weather conditions.